Hello, my friends over at YouTube. This is Travis Simulance Hours, and we're jumping into a best of 3 traditional AFR draft on MTG Arena. Chat, say hello to YouTube. This pack has a couple of things to consider, but I think Wantai Malison is going to be our pick. This card can get in and continually force damage throughout the course of the game while generating value over and over and over. Minimus Containment is also a nice handy removal spell. The Planar Ally is better than I thought. I have not been happy with the Eccentric Apprentice. It's kind of like, who cares what it does? Windrake is not good enough anymore. Which is a whole new world that we're living in. But this is everything you want out of a 2-drop. It attacks, it blocks. And if it can attack, it's generating value. I'd very much like to be blue, which shouldn't be a problem. A lot of people don't love blue. Yeah, I think the podcast gods have decreed blue unplayable in draft, which generally means you can get a lot of the blue cards a little bit later than you should be getting them. Doesn't mean we're going to force blue, but it means I'm probably going to prioritize it. This pack is basically, do you want to speculate on Druid class, or do you just want to take a blue playable? The Scion of Stygia is okay. The Windseer is okay. I kind of feel like with people hating blue as much as they do, I should take the Druid class in case green-white life gain is incredibly open. Because I should probably end up with 2 Windseers whether I want them or not. So I think I'm going to do that. But I wouldn't hate you for taking the Windseer or the Scion. But I bet I'm going to wheel one of these 3 cards. And if blue isn't open, then we'll be glad we took a card that wasn't blue. It's kind of like there's no way for that to go wrong for me. Blue seems a little bit more tempo-y and rampy in this set than I'm used to it being. Alright. So we got us a blue dragon and a roper. Hey Lop, thank you for being here and thank you for saying so. We're very happy to have you. Now there's no reason we couldn't play blue-green, and if we were playing blue-green, I could still get the roper untapped with the ramper dude from blue. I think I'd rather take the roper here. Like, that's just an incredible amount of stats for 3 mana. If it's functionally a defender some amount of the time, that's okay. But again, if we start to see the life gain payoffs, I could just be off of blue and into green-white. It's not like we have to play this. And in theory, this can untap it some number of times. Yeah, I'm thinking about this as if we're playing blue-green for the roper, but there's really no reason to think that we are currently. Because, like, again, I'm kind of interested in the Steadfast Paladin here. I could still see an argument for taking the Conjurer. But I should still see those later. Like, I don't have to prioritize the blue cards. So I'm going to try to set us up for green-white life gain, and if it's not available, we'll audible into blue something. One thing we don't have is really any interaction yet, so I could see us being, I don't know, blue-black if we see a late black removal spell or something. It's just giving me another Steadfast Paladin, and it's like, hey, you want to do this? I don't see why I wouldn't. I think I'm ready to buckle in on this then. Like, all we need is a unicorn or 2 and we're ready to party. And I've had green decks that could successfully use combat tricks as removal. Like, combat tricks pair nicely with life linkers. Yeah, we did have somebody wreck us with a book earlier today. Here's the part where it starts to dry up a little bit, though, because there's really nothing here I'd want to play in a green-white deck. So I think I'm going to take the Air Cult Elemental, which is a fine playable blue card, and could lead us to blue-green, because blue can ramp itself to this. And you can still play the Druid class. Pairing it with blue means you're not really taking advantage of the life gain, but you are taking advantage of the I can turn this into a creature relatively quickly. So blue's back on the menu. I don't know exactly what we're doing yet, but we'll sort it out. I had a feeling green-white might be a bit too contested. It's one of the decks people seem to like a lot. But yeah, it's blue. It's blue. It's blue that's open. That doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get an amazing deck out of it, but we're probably going to play blue something. The Conjurer can get the Roper untapped, and if we play the Druid class, that could, in theory, do it too. But I think most of the decks that you're playing Roper in, if you're not green-white, are just interested in the blocker. Because we can go in the air, we can go unblockable. And we speculated a little bit. Let's see how much it costs us. Because I think we could turn one of those Paladins into a 3/3 flyer. I think we'd be happy to do that now. Now that's interesting. Because I don't hate this card. I don't really feel compelled to pick a Shortcut Seeker, so I guess I still don't quite know where we're going. It could be blue-white. Yes, all the color pairs are playable in this format, which I like a lot more than the last one. Now the next pack is the one that we're anticipating having good blue in. I think I'm going to take the Pit Trap. I've ended up playing this a bit more than I cared to, but when we're not quite sure what our color pairs are, a nice playable artifact is handy. Well, we have more blue-white cards, but it's not like the Paladin is super useful in blue-white. It's a decent thing to put like a fly on if we end up having to play that. Now here's the concern. This is the pack that had 3 blue cards in it, and I said we're going to wheel one of them, and we didn't. That is a concern, to say the least. I'm going to take Ambushed and see where this goes, but all of a sudden the blue plan is not looking quite as good. Because there's supposed to be something there, and there ain't. What does this do? Nothing? I'm going to take a Windfall. Yeah, like I'm getting some blue playables late, but I may be in a weird position here. There's a world where I'd play the Paladin Shield with the start. It's kind of time to start making a plan. If we were blue-white, I could see playing the Black Staff to some effect. I could also see playing the Moonblessed Cleric to some effect, because our removal should be enchantment based. This is going to lead to me wanting to play bad artifacts, but if I'm playing artifacts that are not that bad, like the Pit Trap and a Paladin Shield, I think we could get some use out of this. I'm going to give this a go. I don't love this card, but I think what's getting passed to us is actually blue-white artifacts, and that's kind of what I need to be going for, as exhibited by the Dancing Sword, which is pretty freaking good. So I think we're probably doing this, which is going to be interesting to say the least. And then there was a Meteor Swarm. That's kind of better than anything I've taken so far, because we could just take the Pegasus and be okay with it. I'd need to be playing blue-red. Let's talk. Maybe let's not talk. Maybe let's not talk. I think I can make this plate armor work. Like plate armor on the Malison or on a random flyer could be quite good for us. I'm not going to take the wilds for a splash when there's Meteor Swarm. We're considering abandoning all of the white cards to play that, but I think we have a plan now. And I don't think it's a bad one. Probably not playing that. We could play Here's Something on Watch. Our removal suite looks like garbage, and I don't really have instants and sorceries to get back with this dude. I could probably go for some card draw, but I'd critique people for taking it this early. Meh, critique me. Okay, Veteran Dungeoneer I can get some work done out of. I think we could probably play the bounce spell too. This is interesting. I haven't had like a really killer blue-white deck, but I think we're kind of leaning in towards one now. Wouldn't you want plate armor as your only equipment, or do you really want to pick up another? I already have 2 other equipments. We have a dancing sword and a paladin shield that I'm going to play. And if I can put it on this or on a flyer, who cares? I'll pay the 3 mana. Think of it as a 6-drop. I think this deck may want to play Potion of Healing, which is not a phrase I expected to utter in the history of Magic. And yet, here we are. There's a 2-drop that wears equipment pretty well. And we're going to be playing at least 3 of them now. And we spun the Pegasus anyway that we would have taken over the Meteor Swarm, so really not punished there. Is this non-creature artifact? There's a possibility we're playing this Raven. It can carry the sword, and it interacts here. And now we've got 2 things to get back. This is a possibility. This is a little deeper on synergy than I'll traditionally go, but I also think it's what's open at this table. Bag of Holding would frickin' love to be in this deck. I was kind of sad we didn't get the other one, but that's quite nice for us. I'm not going to have to play many do-nothing artifacts. So we're up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 artifacts with the possibility of playing the Raven. It would have been really good if you could play it with treasures, but I do think it restricts you to blue-white specifically. Yeah, I think there's a possibility we're playing that Silver Raven. I did not anticipate drafting a deck that would play Silver Raven. And yet, here we are. Or, I suppose we could just play 2 Dancing Swords. That might be okay, too. If we have to. The staff likes artifacts. The Raven is an artifact. So the question is, what can we do with the Raven if we don't draw the staff? And if what we can do with it is throw a bunch of equipment on it and kill people, I'm kind of okay with that. So I think the Raven is currently likely to get in. We're going to need some number of 3-drops, and I can trigger this at least 3 times. So probably once every other draft. Or every other game. That's enough for me. Well, the thing is, all of our equipment's pretty cheap to equip, right? Like, this is equip 1. Brunor doesn't really help with that. This equips for free. This will kind of equip for free, too. Now we're getting a little cut off and starting to see some red again, which I don't quite understand, but I don't need to. The last draft I did, I think we passed something like 5 Dragon's Fires that were all incredibly late. I don't think I'm playing a Blink Dog in this. The Blink Dog does wear the equipment well. It's not very good without it. I suppose there's nothing else here we're going to play, so it's a consideration. It doesn't say anything about loses all abilities, so I don't see why it wouldn't. Like, I'm pretty happy with the Conjurer. I also think we can clear a dungeon reliably, but... This says, another target non-token artifact you control becomes a 4/4 artifact creature for as long as this remains tapped. So there's no reason it would lose flying. Sounds to me like you do understand the deal with Dragonfire and Draft. I'm trying to decide if I want another Conjurer or if I want the Scion. I think I'd like the Scion. Okay, and there's our 5 drops. Done. So this deck probably doesn't need the Shortcut Seeker at this point, and it's done. I almost want to play 18 lands with the Bag of Holding, but I probably don't need it. And we could almost use Spiked Pit Trap. Overhear something on the watch. I kind of like the Paladin Shield with the Dwarf Paladin. I'm going to take this in case I need another 2 in a matchup. Veteran Dungeoneer again? I mean, I like this card. I also like the Conjurer. But there's also, you hear something on the watch. There's too many good cards, y'all. I'm having a problem. I don't think I'm able to play both of these. I'm certainly not able to play 3 of them. What a draft. Well, watch is not as good as variants we've had in the past, right? Like, I'm curious how deep I'm supposed to go on this Black Staff. Because it doesn't do anything without another artifact, so there's 7 ways to interact with it. I think we can find them, though. I should probably start talking after I've finished my sip of water. I think we can find them, though. I don't think we got quite enough life gain for green-white. I think it's still worth playing the Unicorn. Yeah, I'm actually excited to try this out. This is a different style deck than what I'd normally want. I'm curious if I'm supposed to find room for another artifact. Because we could get a Paladin Shield in here or play the Raven. I think the Raven's almost reasonable with the 2 Dancing Swords. I need to try this to know. I'm a little concerned about blocks. But I guess I can build my own 2/4 pretty reliably. Because I think I'm cutting this Celestial Unicorn. I don't see why I need this. It's a 3 mana 4/3 some amount of the time. All right, let's do our Stream Raiders battle so I'm not holding y'all hostage. There's 13 creatures currently. Kill them. The Dancing Swords also die into creatures. And if we draw the Black Staff, all of our artifacts are creatures. I don't think we're quite abusing the Blink Dog enough. Because, like, the Raven can carry equipment and gets better if I ever draw the staff. Whereas the Blink Dog is basically just there because it can wear equipment. And to be fair, so can literally everything else. This battle's a bit of a trudge. But it do look like we have won it. Though some of you had to die for us to achieve victory, that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Rob with the kills, Strauff with the assists, rewards for Holland and Render Peace. Blink Dog is a pretty great blocker if you have infinite mana left open. I think the Veteran Dungeoneer is a better blocker. Because I don't have to do anything else. I just play it and it can block. Let's see, though. All right, let's talk. I have the Black Staff of Waterdeep, which seems like it should be a black card, but what do I know? Now, the plan was we were going to draw one of them cheap artifacts. And then we didn't. We may need one Ty Malison to do some work for us. That's why I don't like having a plan. Fair enough. That's not very nice. Is this sorcery speed, or can I do it whenever I want? Yeah, it's sorcery speed. But we need the 4/4. If I play this, they just equip it and attack past it. It's not good enough. Although, if I play this and then equip it, suddenly it is good enough. And I'm sure they don't have a Dragon Fire. Who's a good cat thing? Alright, show me what you got. I think 4/4 flyer Ward 1 is better than 3/3 flyer Ward pay 3 life. It didn't even pass that. Definitely needed more blue mana. That's helpful. Meteor Swarm is better than most of the cards, which is why we took one. We just couldn't get into red enough to play it. Which did indeedy do make me sad. That's a lot of vampires. I think I can attack with this one and try to begin to generate some value, because I'm in a great deal of trouble at the moment. Spike Tip Pit Trap will help significantly. I can also... Oh, that's why the Clever Conjurer sorcery speed. It's like I could block, untap the staff, and make it not a creature anymore, and get infinite blockage. Uh-oh. I miscounted. And they didn't. Yeah, I needed to block the other one, but I figured they had something to kill me anyway. Kind of do need that extra, here's something on watch against them, because, like, my drops aren't really comparing if they have that equipment. As that said, the Paladin Shield would have been nice. I think I have the tools I need. We didn't draw quite enough artifacts for the shield. Meteor Swarm's a hell of a card. I suppose that's what we learned from that. If we didn't get 2 for 1 there, we had solid blocks. So I can't really blame my deck for not being able to beat Meteor Swarm. Who's a good cat thing? Or you can know I have it. Didn't think I'd be attacking with a spiked pit trap. Doesn't it though? Never thought I'd die fighting side by side with a pit trap. Light armor's doing some work, and it's the only equipment we have. You're not doing anything with that. And the black staff means we kind of can't run out of creatures, which I dig. That one went all right. And I feel like I got enough value out of the pit trap attacking people. I was really, really happy with hearing something on the watch. I think I'd rather have another one of those. Because the 1/1 by itself doesn't actually trade with anything in their deck. And I'm certainly not the aggressor here. It's got a lot of things I like. It is missing about on the lands, which I don't like. I mean, I can suit that fella up and dare him to do something. Which I think I'm pretty happy with. I'm going to build my own 3 toughness creature. That's not quite good enough here. Frack. I might be in danger. So I can equip this for 1 and make 1 big fat blocker. But I don't think it's good enough because they're going to have this goblin. They're going to have too many things attacking. I really needed a lifelinker. Yeah, I think I'm dead. I don't want to be dead. But I think I am in fact dead. That white is just bad news, man. I mean, this is all bad news. I'm like a land short. We really needed our lifelinker there. That one's unfortunate. I felt like this deck had some promise. And wanted to get you guys a 3-0. I think the 2-1 can still happen, but that was a bit rough. I needed a bounce spell there would have done something. So if we'd drawn our elemental, the lifelinker would have done some work. One of the 5 damage to target attacking creature spells would have done some work. Like, we sideboarded those in. We just didn't get the right cards. I had some fun DMing back in the day. I had some adventurers on Dominaria fighting people that were wanting to summon a demon. They found a small town. I think that was my favorite adventure that they went on. There's a small town, and one person in the town was trying to do something nefarious. That's all they knew. And they spent like 3 hours trying to figure out who it was and arguing over, did we make the right decision? We really need another land right now. Yeah, we streamed a few of them, but it was more fun not streaming it. Oh, that's fair. I did a lot of the designing on stream. All right, let's go aggro. You may not want to use the pit trap on it, but you're going to have to use the pit trap on it. I'd rather be dealing damage than playing around a pit trap. If they want to spend 5 mana sorcery speed to kill a 3/1, I'm okay with that. And if they're too proud to do it now and want to hold it up or something, that's fine too. Like right now, I am the beatdown. So we're going to continue to play as if we are the beatdown. Because I think we got him in a pickle. Like, killing the Doorfold champion isn't good right now. I can just put the equipment on the air elemental. Which means I can attack with it, hold up the paladin shield, and be pretty freaking happy. Good afternoon, Van Geek. Actually, we're the aggro deck. Haste it. I'm feeling much better. Paladin shield will make you chomp, chomp. That one went a bit better. They're actually trying to compete with us in the air, which is a bit obnoxious. Are they dead to a swing team? I don't think so the previous turn, but maybe. This is making me not like the Raven. I think I need to not play the Raven. I don't care for that here. I think that makes me want to hear something on watch or perhaps ambush on the road. I wish we'd had another elemental. It would have been nice here. I don't know, being able to play around the pit trap is nice, but I think I just like the damage to incoming creature. Like, they've got a 3/5. There's a world where they're swinging with it. Spending 2 mana to answer a 5-drop's pretty appealing. Hi, there's a bag of holding, potion of healing. We got all the tools. We're ready to go on an adventure. I like the unblockable pressure. I also really like drawing a land next turn. I can do that next turn and potentially do shield shenanigans. I might actually be able to use this more. Because I get the scry anyway. That would be handy. Dang it, I was kind of trying to trick him into attacking with the zombie ogre. But it didn't work. Which sucks. That was my plan. I would like the land for the planar ally. I don't know how I feel about the plate armor right now. I guess it's pretty good on one tie Malison, but I can't play it and equip it in the same turn. Well, I can if I play out the Paladin shield this turn. Because they can potentially 6 me twice here, which is a bit of a problem. I'm going to need them to be a little cautious here, because if I have to pop that potion of healing, I don't think we can go with the same line. I forgot they had the ability to mill, which they did, which is making this a little more awkward. That means I may not want it. No, I think I still want it. I'm just going to have to pop the potion of healing. But I can still hit a land off of this potentially. Yeah, we're going to go a slightly different route then. Well, that's bad news. Turns out I might have rather had the potion of healing up that turn. I do feel a lot better about bringing in, and I tried to get a little tricky there. I should have played that clean with the here's something on the watch. I got a little greedy, but this is what we want here. I lost that because I got greedy. So sort of deserved it. They're rethinking their size board and plans. Which is fine. Take your time. That's what it's for. Sarkhan would have been an interesting planeswalker to cross over into the D&D universe. I think he'd like it there. I am still curious how we didn't get Elminster in this set. Is he not a thing in the Forgotten Realms anymore? Because I realized I haven't read the lore of Forgotten Realms in the past 15 years. I don't know what's going on there these days. It has some potential. Why is Sarkhan not part? Excuse me, not Sarkhan. Why is Elminster not part of this set? Is he still somebody on the Forgotten Realms? I think I'm going to go Mad Maging again, and I think I can get away with it with this start. think we would be happy with the land here. Yeah, we'll take it. I was going to say there's some argument to, like, let a white land go, but I don't think we actually can afford that. I think I'm happy trading this off, but not that. Changed my mind a little bit there. They're gonna trade it off. Yeah, I guess there was just too much to fit into one set. I think I'm more likely to want the pit trap sooner. Means they got a bunch of card draw and not much to do with it. Maybe they needed the mana for something big? I don't know. Whatever it is, I'm planning to kill it and fly over and kill him next turn. Maybe they were hoping to top deck something? I don't know. Yeah, they could have had the Dark Crystal in here too. I guess that means we need another Forgotten Realms set. Problem is I want a Greyhawk set and a Dragonlance set. And I'm probably the only one, but I want a Spelljammer set and a Dark Sun set. Which means naturally they'll do Eberron next. Because I don't really know anything about that except you can play golems. I mean, we've got the Innistrad set. Is that not basically the Ravenloft set? Alright, looks like we got them. Let's do our Stream Raiders Battle Royale. Por que no las dos, Holland? I see them corn dogs. They're making me hungry. Lazy Jim with the kills. Scar with the assists, rewards for Stakes, Simwife, my favorite person, and Cyril. I wonder why they won't make them then. Spelljammer was fun. It was kind of stupid, but that just made it more fun in my opinion. All right, let's do this last round and I'm gonna have to investigate me a snack. Yeah, I suppose D&D is the one, it's not quite a board game, but it's close, that I used to enjoy, but you need the right group for it. Oh, get a clue. Investigate should be a mechanic in every set. Depends on how nuts you're going with your mana base. In a 2-color deck, I'm pretty happy playing 1 or 2. In a 4-color deck, I'm pretty happy playing as many as I can get. Well, I guess that settles that. We're going to have to dip into the old bag of holding. They already know about the Paladin Shield, but I might still want to play it. Like, I can still get my instant back too eventually. I may need to pop this for life. Just because we've got the mana up. And I'm not short artifacts right now. I'm kind of expecting this to die. I can't get the instant back. It was exiled by check for traps. Oh, yeah, it exiles. It doesn't make me discard. That's a real shame. All right, all the cards are on the table. You show me what you got. Yeah, I think I would play 2 in a 2-color deck, generally speaking. Oh, good grief. I'm just dead. I don't want to be just dead. This is the sacrifice deck your mama warned you about. Pretty good. Pretty good. All right, so again, we're going to want to cut the flyer. I think this guy just sucks. If this deck doesn't want him, ain't no deck that does. I think I'm pretty content with the rest of it, though. I've got 3 of these. I should be playing 3 of these against them. I'm gonna have to trim out this Pegasus. I know how. I managed to do something similar to that the other day. One of the best ones is that Sepulchral Ghoul. But there's certainly a black-red sacrifice deck. Well, some folks have said this format is too aggro, and that people don't care for it. Well, I also made some mistakes too. Like, it kind of is what it is. Well, this is awkward. Not today. Thank you. Yeah, I'm starting to feel some of it now. I guess this is where Barbarian class goes, because we tried it in one of our decks and it was not good. I guess we need some blockers, yo. Means they at least have to kill me this turn, but I think it's somewhat likely that they can. Because killing the Malison's not enough. Okay, that works. Format sucks, it's too aggro. All right, and so ends our YouTube draft. There are people saying the format is bad because it is too aggressive, and if you're not doing something aggressive, you're not going to have fun. That seemed like a cool deck. It seems like the pieces were planted for a cool deck there, but we were not able to find it. I appreciate you YouTubers watching. If you'd like to watch more, you can come by the stream. It's at twitch.tv/Simulan. And chat, say goodbye to YouTube. Consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. We're getting close to that 1,000 subscriber mark, which is kind of a big deal. Alrighty, thank you folks. We'll see you next time, YouTubers.